Welcome to Detroit Sports Media Monthly. I'm Roy Akers. In this show, we will go on into the NASCAR track, the Detroit Tigers locker room, out to Utica, the USPBL, and Lions training camp, and a whole lot more. Stay tuned. It begins right after this.
Unbeatable price, service, selection, and customer satisfaction?
That's the Galli difference.
Only at Galli Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.
Your Ram store.
During the spring sales event, lease a 2018 Ram 1500 Bighorn Quad Cab 4x4 starting at $199 a month employee, $259 friends and family. Or during the Ram Truck Month, lease a 2018 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab 4x4, just $239 employee, $289 friends and family. Get to Galli Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram on Telegraph, north of Square Lake, just west of I-75 at exit 75.
It takes a village to help somebody get their diploma. Changes your whole life.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
One of the biggest battles at camp right now is Jake Rudock, the sixth-round draft choice from the University of Michigan, taking on Matt Castle, who started previously in both New England and with Kansas City. This battle doesn't really seem to be mud, but unfortunately, if something happens to quarterback Matthew Stafford, the Lions could be in a lurch. One of the keys about a backup quarterback situation is that they're unseen, they're unheard until that situation awaits. Hopefully for the Detroit Lions that doesn't happen this year, but what happens if you need that contingency plan?
Yeah, I mean, right now it's just working. That's what it's all about. Not really worrying about that. Not trying to think about that. But just trying to think about having a good day today. And now have a good film session and just every little thing. And you play as hard as you can, as best you can, and let the rest take care of itself.
I like Jake Rudock. I watched him succeed at Michigan. I've watched him in the preseason. I don't think they brought Matt Castle in on accident. Matt Patricia knows what Matt Castle can bring to a team. He's got a big family. He's not going to move somewhere with them on a whim. I would imagine there were conversations between Bob Quinn, between Matt Patricia and Matt Castle. Not a promise, but an assurance that you're going to be given a fair shot. And by all indications from camp, he's been given that shot. He's been the guy that they've almost turned to see in that backup role. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Matt Castle on this roster to start the season.
Detroit Lion Jake Rudock is in a battle with Matt Castle for the backup quarterback spot. Rudock knows he's in for a tough fight, as Castle has a ton of experience as a backup and a starter in the NFL.
Castle has so much experience. I can learn a ton from him, and not really trying to worry about who's number 2, who's number 3, or what it is, and just focus on trying to get better. And I'm trying to use him as much as I can. And there's just so much that he knows. He's been around for over 10 years, so that's not an easy thing to do. So.
Stoney from 97 won the ticket, is always a pessimist and says this is what will happen if Stafford goes down.
Well, Jake Rudock has played well in the latter stages of games 2 and 3, but I think it's going to be Castle. But I said this on the radio this week, it doesn't make a difference. If either of these guys have to be used, it's going to be a long year anyway, so I couldn't care less who the quarterback backup is.
Rudock hopes he's done enough work, no matter what happens, to get a look from any of the other 31 teams in case the spot with the Lions doesn't work out.
Yeah, I hope so. That's not really up to me, That's up to the ownership and the GMs of all the teams. But right now, I'm focused on is today.
Yeah, well, there's 31 teams looking. Plus, you got a great shot still with the Lions. They got, they have a 5-man practice squad. So,
yeah, we'll see. Hopefully, hopefully everything works out well.
From the Detroit Lions practice facility in Allen Park, this is Roy J. Akers reporting.
I was 0.5 credits away from completing high school, and I didn't do it. My support team never stopped pushing for me to be better because they knew who I could become as a person. I've been given an opportunity, and I'm just thankful for it.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Hi, I'm Thad Zott with Zott M59 Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram. It's April, and you know what time it is.
Joe Kocur here, and it's time for hockey in the D.
Whoa, big fella. I'm Rod Allen, and I'm here to tell you it's time for baseball in the D.
Rod, Joe, you're both right. But there is one thing bigger in the D, the deal, baby. DealsInTheD.com is where you'll find every vehicle listed with our very best price.
During our spring clearance event, we have leases starting at $129 per month. DealsInTheD.com.
That's country strong.
Our dad was a successful attorney. He didn't make a big fuss about himself, but everyone knew and respected him, like they do my brother Mike.
I didn't get a chance to practice with Dad, but we still consider ourselves a family law firm because we treat every client like family.
Giving you the same care and respect you'd give a family member.
That's the real advantage, and a commitment from me, Mike Morse. Call and see for yourself. 855-MIKE-WINS. 855-MIKE-WINS.
A lot of sports have been struggling since the Great Recession with the, as far as getting participants, attendance, and that. But golf is stronger than ever. Is there a certain thing that you can attest to why that is so?
Well, I think that we probably got a little complacent in the game of golf, and we realized that a lot of other sports were doing things that we didn't do, and we needed to get on the stick. PGA of America, the USGA, the PGA Tour, all realize that the game of golf, if we don't make some changes and do some things, the growth of the game is not going to happen. And I think they've all done a lot of things. They're continuing to work with it. The PGA Reach is one. The PGA's schools are another. The junior schools. We have the tour brings in kids every week. The first tee from the kids or from the tour. The USGA is constantly trying to figure out programs and so forth that they can work. We're aware that golf is an expensive game. We're aware that golf is a hard game, and we're also aware that golf takes a long time. So those are issues that we're all aware of, and we all need to work on. So I think that we got ahead of the game that some of the other sports haven't, and have taken a while to catch up. But I think we're moving along very nicely now. And I think we'll continue to move nicely, and let us remember where we came from. And we came from a sport that took 5 hours, and you only had elite people theoretically playing the game, and you had every golf course you tried to do was the toughest golf course to challenge the world. Well, we don't need that. We need other ways to bring people to. I think Topgolf has been an important part of bringing people into the game. I think that there's several of those type of things now, but there's many things that have happened that I think have helped golf grow, and I think we're going to continue to see golf grow at a pretty good rate.
You've had an extremely busy summer retooling the team. I understand that since you drafted Zadina earlier this summer, that a lot of optimism rides in the clubhouse and the front office, and I'm sure it's kind of given you a nice fresh step.
Well, I think having Zadina come to us at 6 was an important thing. I think watching him on tape prior to the draft and watching him at development camp, he's a guy that really looks like he's got the opportunity to prove that he could step right in the lineup. We'll see, but he can score. There's no doubt about that, and you need those types of players. We walked in lots of nights after games and said, we played well, but we just didn't score. And so if he can help us in that area, that's big. But I also think optimism sits with some other guys as well.
Now, besides that, you have any set number, of youngsters you're looking to bring up, or are you just going to let the chips fall where they may?
Well, I don't know if there's a set number necessarily. I certainly think Rasmussen has made statements time and time again, going back to camp, going through the season he had this year. I had a chance to watch him in the playoffs. He was excellent. I had a chance to watch him at the World Junior Evaluation Camp. He was excellent. So he's making statements to be on the team. I spoke about Zadina. We got a number of young D that are trying to make statements. I thought Svechnikov played pretty good at the end of the year. So we need to make sure that the best players are with us. If somebody can steal someone's job, that means we're a better hockey team. We need to take steps towards being a better hockey team.
And finally, I'm sure in the exit interviews after the last offseason, you gave some homework to some guys. What do you want to see in this training camp that'll tell you that you have a better hockey team in 2018-19?
Well, I just think that guys took steps forward. That was the biggest thing, is you got to find something in your game that you're going to make yourself better. If you come back the same player, we're not good enough. We showed that the last 2 years. So individually, we need to take steps forward so that collectively we can be a better hockey team. So, we'll know with the guys, certainly with the work they put in. You see that really quickly in camp. And again, if certain guys didn't put the work in, other guys are sitting there trying to steal jobs. Hopefully it's a real competitive camp.
Real easy one. You're at the Joe Kocur Celebrity Softball game. You've been here all 3 years. You've been the head coach. Why do you come back each year?
Well, I just think, first of all, it's a great event. It's a great cause, and then the respect I have for Joe Kocur and what he does in the community, the type of person he is, and so it's a no-brainer when I get asked to come to this, and it's a fun event as well.
I see the future is really bright for me. The high school diploma is just added to the confidence, and now I feel unstoppable.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Alan Trammell accomplished a lot during his Hall of Fame career, from the Silver Slugger, the near MVP award, double play combination with Lou Whitaker, and a World Series champion in 1984. He tells us why it was so sweet making his career playing baseball.
And my teammates, you know, I want to start there. I mean, to have as many as them coming back and acknowledging me, that means a lot to me, because again, you know, I meant it when I say that about the team. I know it's about me today and all that, and Jack 2 weeks ago, but you can't do it by yourself, and that's how I was raised, and I'm staying with my same tune. That's exactly how I was brought up. I knew I could play. I mean, that's not an issue. I mean, I didn't need to go out. You got to believe in yourself. But this isn't what I thought was going to happen at the end. I wanted to play. I wanted to be successful. And I guess it just tells you that, you know, if you do it long enough, that this is the kinds of things that you're rewarded with. But all I wanted to do was play, be successful, win a championship. I did that. You know, the rest is icing on the cake as far as I'm concerned.
Tom Gage of the Detroit News wrote a book on Alan Trammell, promptly titled #3, and Tom tells us what it was like covering Alan.
Well, I think the fact that he made the Hall of Fame shows that, as Tram says himself, I didn't do anything. I wasn't great at anything, but I was good at a lot of different things. So a balanced player who plays the game the right way, who is a textbook player, who achieved a high level of consistency, they can dream. They really can. You don't have to be the home run hitter. You don't have to be the 25-game winner. You can just accumulate a great career over. As a Hall of Fame voter, I never punish longevity, and the fact that he was so good for so long shows that you can make it.
Other Tigers from that 1984 team are also in on the mix, and they have nothing but great things to say about old #3.
I kept shaking my head and, you know, scratching my head, just, you know, why isn't Jack in there? I kept looking at all of his accomplishments that he's achieved, and certainly, you know, you look at Lou Whitaker and Alan Trammell and say, wait a minute, that's never going to happen again, where you have a double play combination of 19 years. And, you know, Tram is just, I'm so close to Tram, you know, coming from California, both of us, and, you know, starting out together, rooming together in spring training our first year. He's near and dear to my heart, so I'm very, very proud that I got a chance to play with him. And who knows what's going to happen next year with Lou Whitaker, because his stats are right up there with Alan's, and let's just see what happens and see if that Veterans Committee doesn't find a spot for him too.
Lou Whitaker, like Alan Trammell, spent his entire career with the Detroit Tigers, and he says what the pair's legacy is.
We just had fun. That would be the legacy there. Two young kids having fun, playing the game they love for 19 years, being compared two of the best, you know, amongst many, shortstop, second baseman. And, you know, as Tram mentioned, we did it right. We didn't sidetrack. We didn't cheat the game or anything like that. We gave it our all. And we grew. We grew, become not just infielders. Back in the early years, you were an infielder, and that's all they wanted you to do is catch the ball, turn double plays, and just sit down and shut up. Big boys, they do the hitting. Tram and I was fielders, the hitters, RBI, run scores.
You're always going to get the proverbial Lou Whitaker question, and this time Gage says the wait might be a little longer for Sweet Lou.
Well, I think really, I think the fact that Trammell has made it makes the Trammell and Whitaker combination an entity that you can't deny. You know, you don't, like Tinkers to Evers, it's not Tinkers to Evers to no one. I mean, they all had to make it.
Yeah, Chance got in.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think Lou will make it. I'm not so sure it's going to be the next time this particular committee votes, because There are a lot of players who were eligible on that committee, such as Ted Simmons, who came very close to making it. Lou's still got a long way to go, but I do believe you can see the light at the end of the tunnel now.
As much as personal, it's as much for the fans who, again, they want to gravitate to any sport. This is a great sports town, as we know. And for me to be around as long as I have, they've treated me like a Hall of Famer well before I was inducted. That's how the fans have treated me. So now that I'm in it and now have my jersey retired, there's a way to, this is for you. This is for you, and I mean that.
So the Wool has 2 more names listed over the last month, Jack Morris and Alan Trammell, and nothing is sweeter for this generation of Detroit Tiger fans. For Detroit Sports Media, this is Roy J. Akers reporting.
I've been active for as long as I can remember. Staying healthy is everything, not just for me, but for my whole family. Kelly and I run, do yoga to find some balance, and work to eat right. From the moment our twins were born at St. Joe's, we've been focused on keeping them safe and healthy. And as a dad, I'm going to do everything I can to be a positive role model. The journey to better health starts with one step. I'm Detroit Lions quarterback Matthew Stafford. Join me.
It's time to learn more. Visit stjoeshealth.org.
The Ally Challenge is bringing some of the best PGA legends coming out to the Warwick Hills course. These are some of the guys that tore it up over the last 20, 30 years, and they can hardly wait to get back on track. The Ally Challenge is coming back to this course. Today we're talking about the 3 holes that will most likely decide the Ally Championship, and behind us we have an incredible tree.
Well, yeah, this tree is definitely the biggest and oldest tree here on the golf course, and definitely is a kind of a centerpiece of the 13th hole here. 13 here at Warwick Hills is usually a gettable par 5, but if you're going for that green, there's trouble. There's trouble if you miss that shot to the right, and it's a green that's got quite a bit of slope. I believe this is going to be a hole that's going to be a turning point come the back 9 on Sunday. There's a chance for an eagle, but there's also a chance for a bogey or a double.
Now, it looks like if you were to probably turn over to your right, the pros really need to avoid this tree at all costs. And the landing area, I think we're kind of shooting at over in this particular area.
Yeah, so, I mean, we're planning on the back tees, which is 540, but you're going to catch some downward slope where you can get some run down here. And if we get it down here up to the tree here on the left, we can have a shot anywhere from 200 to 220 in, which is definitely a gettable for the Champions Tour.
Now, one of the, I think, famous shots, didn't Tiger have to go through this tree and he carried something and pulled something off, a miracle?
Yeah, Tiger was actually right of the tree. He hit a swooping 2-iron left to right over the water, up tight to the hole, and made an eagle onto one of his victories.
And so with that, and of course you got the pond, garden up on the right-hand side, and that really won't come into play unless somebody really smashes it off on the right-hand side. That's really more for show, isn't it, for TV?
Well, I'd say when you're going for the green in 2, it's a tricky shot. So you definitely need to pay attention to it.
That's. Well, with us right now, Doug Brody, you're going to talk about the par 3 17th, and obviously this hole is well known by anybody who knows anything about the Buick Open and now the Ally Challenge.
Yeah, probably one of the most famous holes here in Michigan and one of the most famous holes on the PGA Tour for many, many years. I mean, prior to 16 at TPC of Scottsdale, this was the rowdiest and most exciting hole on the PGA Tour. So. First Buick Open was back in 1958. One of the first televised hole-in-one was actually here on number 17 back in the early 60s.
Now this hole has got trouble all around it. We've got water, we've got sand, and it looks like, are we seeing a Sunday placement already on our day? to come here and check out your course?
Well, that's a tricky pin there, especially back here from 197 yards. You've got to hit it high and soft to get it anywhere near that pin. That is one of the flatter spots, though. Front left, back left, all the way up. We have the most slope on the green, and it's very narrow back there as well. So if you miss the green right or left with that back pin, it's almost impossible up and down.
And a final thing is, it does, as you kind of alluded to, it does slope from back to front. So if you go behind the pin because you're trying to avoid the trouble in front, you are going to earn your par.
You got that right. Tough one.
Well, Doug, one of the final finishing hole is one of the 3 holes that you say may decide the Allied Championship.
So yeah, here at 18, it's going to be their 54th hole. Champions Tour, they play 54 holes Friday, Saturday, Sunday, no cut. So here we are, final hole, long par 4, 435 yards from the championship tees. Maybe one of the most famous birdies from one of our past champions was Rocco Mediate. Made a birdie 3 here to a back left pin. It was a 2-shot swinger and gave him his first victory here at Warwick Hills in the Buick Open.
And it was one of the most unique because he never led this tournament to the final hole, and he's the only player to do what at the Buick Open?
The only player to do what at the Buick Open?
Birdie this hole.
Birdie the final hole to win the Buick Open.
And what we have, now talk real quick, we've got a big tree up on the left-hand side. When you're looking to land, you've got 3 sand traps over on the right-hand side. Obviously, we're going to avoid those, but the sweet spot is what? Just to the right of the huge tree down on the left side?
Yeah, I'd say, I mean, guys that draw the ball are going to draw them off those right bunkers, because you can definitely catch some downslope and some more run down that side. And I don't think you want to mess with that tree on the left, because if that tree catches it, it grabs quite a few balls and will throw them back in the water. You also have out of bounds that really sneaks up on you on the left-hand side. Years back, Jack Nicklaus actually knocked 2 out of bounds here on 18 to the left.
Well, that's a good one. That's a good piece of history. One final thing is on the green that we're going to take a look at through the air later on. That green is very severely sloped, and the PGA Tour pros know where they're going to try to put the ball overall in order to have any chance of scoring.
Well, you've got a definitive false front here on the 18th green, and it's a tricky green to read. There's a lot of local knowledge on these greens that are closer to the clubhouse. 18, 9, 1, and 10. They all tend to break towards Flint. So pros are going to want to figure that out in their practice rounds to watch where Flint is, and it's definitely going to influence a putt on those greens.
Final question, the Allied Challenge coming to Warwick Hills. The entire membership is extremely excited. What is your take? Why are you so excited about bringing professional golf back to this course?
Well, here the Flint and the Grand Blanc, Southeast Michigan community, the Buick Open was kind of the centerpiece of the summertime here at Warwick Hills and the surrounding area for golf. So much history. It's been since 2009, and the members, the community, they're ecstatic about bringing professional golf back and bringing excitement back to this area with the best players in the world.
And Doug, with you and your classy staff, we know that everybody's going to walk away from the Allied Challenge going, we can hardly wait to 2019 when we do it again.
You got that right. We can't wait.
As an 18-year-old, I let my mistakes kind of take over my life. I was 0.5 credits away from completing high school, and I didn't do it. When I found out that I was pregnant, I know that I had to do something for myself if I wanted to make her a better person and provide a better life for her. My family never stopped pushing for me to be better because they knew what I could become and who I could become as a person. My support team is amazing. The educational director here, my sister, and even my 7-year-old daughter has just been more than the support that I could ask for.
And to see you makes me proud.
I've been given an opportunity, and I'm just thankful for it.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Our dad was a successful attorney. He didn't make a big fuss about himself, but everyone knew and respected him, like they do my brother Mike.
I didn't get a chance to practice with Dad, but we still consider ourselves a family law firm because we treat every client like family.
Giving you the same care and respect you'd give a family member.
That's the real advantage, and a commitment from me, Mike Morse. Call and see for yourself. 855-MIKE-WINS. 855-MIKE-WINS.
The Joe Kocur Celebrity Softball Game is in its 10th edition, and right now our own Art Regner talks with Joe, and in that, Joe talks about what it's like getting together all the people needed to run this charity softball game year after year.
Hey everybody, I'm Art Regner from DetroitRedWings.com. I'm along with Joe Kocur. We're here at Duck Lake Pines Park. This is the 10th annual Joe Kocur Celebrity Softball Charity Event for the Joe Kocur Foundation for Children. Joe, I love this event. I'm here every year. You do such a great job. Were you a little, nervous when you woke up this morning? It was raining?
The lightning and thunder, I was sitting in the motorhome at 8 a.m. just hoping that it would go away, watching the radar, and it did look promising, and it actually turned out to be a beautiful day. It looks like it's going to hold off for the whole day, so we have a great crowd, we got a great bunch of celebrities, and come on out, let's have some fun.
Right, really. Right now we've got game one. There's 3 games going on. What I call Celebrity on Celebrity game is at 4:30 today. If you can tell some of the fans who are making their way out there exactly how they can partake in this beautiful event, which I call it like a carnival atmosphere.
It's a country fair, is what I think. It's a small town, lots to do. There's 2 fields of kids games where they can just go and enjoy bounce houses, arts and crafts, carnival rides. We got the great players like Kaiser, Witkowski, and Larkin, Coach Blashill. We got Cicerelli, Hall of Famer, Mickey Redmond. We got the Grind Line, Hardy. We got baseball players. We got Rosie out there. We got the Crown Prince, Eddie Nino out there. And we got some great Channel 7, Brad Galli, Andy Andrews, Jenna Brew. We got just a great crew.
And Darth Vader's here along with a couple of stormtroopers. So.
And a couple clowns.
A couple of clowns. I mean, what don't you have? I guess.
It's a great day.
It is a great day. Tickets are still available. The crowd comes and goes. As we said, this is game 1. Celebrity. It's usually a celebrity team against sponsors. And that's always a good event. And Joe, I know I've asked you this before, but 10 years later, I mean. Take a bow. You should take a bow. I've been serious.
We've tweaked every year. We've learned a little bit more every year. But the great thing is I've got a great staff that work with me, and they take a lot off my plate.
Okay, and once again, there's a lot of things to do here, a lot of people to meet, everyone's accommodating, and this will be going on through probably the last out will be made right around 6 o'clock.
6:30, and then we stick around, listen to music, drink some beer, and have some fun.
There we go.
Come on out.
Spoken like a true hockey player.
Thanks, guys.
All right, thank you, Joey. Thank you. All right, that'll.
I see the future is really bright for me. The high school diploma is just added to the confidence, and now I feel unstoppable.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Hi, I'm Thad Zott with Zott M59 Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram. It's April, and you know what time it is.
Joe Kocur here, and it's time for hockey in the D.
Whoa, big fella. I'm Rod Allen, and I'm here to tell you it's time for baseball in the D.
Rod, Joe, you're both right. But there is one thing bigger in the D, the deal, baby. DealsInTheD.com is where you'll find every vehicle listed with our very best price.
During our spring clearance event, we have leases starting at $129 per month. DealsInTheD.com.
That's country strong.
There you go. With me is Brad Galli, Channel 7 Action News.
What's up, Dylan? You want to say hi real quick? Just pop your head in.
How's it going?
Hey, wait a minute. Detroit's supposed to be helping kids.
Yes. I'm from Waterford, too. I'll get you after the game.
Come on, Peter.
We have. Yeah, they remember me, and that's usually where the raid comes in.
You and Dylan, the 2 Waterford legends.
There you go. All right. Well, taking a look at Ron Gardner, I think by everybody's estimation, has had a terrific season. What is your take on the move behind Brad Ausmus and now coming into this year?
I don't know if it's terrific. I mean, it's tough to judge the first year of a rebuild in a positive way, but I think what we've seen is that maybe Ron Gardenhire should have been the guy a couple years ago, right? I mean, the way he has gotten the most out of some of this young talent, the way he's created an atmosphere and vibe that I saw in Lakeland when we went to spring training, the guys like playing for him. They like being in the clubhouse with him, and I think he took an ownership of that clubhouse that we didn't really see Ausmus take. When Ausmus came in, he was still a young guy. He was managing for the first time, so I think he saw a locker room that had a championship culture in his eyes with guys that were established, and he kind of let them run it. And I think that culture ultimately didn't prove to be a winning culture, and it tore down this team.
Yeah, I think you and I are on the same page. If we could go back and play crystal ball, I think that if he'd been here instead of Mr. Ausmus, I think they might have milked out a year or two. That one year they were begging to win, and they just collapsed in September. It's the first year.
Yeah, I mean, it was difficult to watch with this team being deconstructed, and to see J.D. Martinez tearing it up last year with the Diamondbacks and now with the Red Sox, to see Justin Verlander win a World Series and to dominate even better this year. It's difficult to see these guys leave and to say, well, wait a minute, they were all here. What happened? How did something not happen? When J.D. Martinez came back with the Red Sox to Comerica Park a couple weeks ago, he said that when he was with Verlander at the All-Star game, the one question they kept looking at each other and asking was, how did we not win in Detroit?
Still talk with Victor Martinez. He's hanging it up after the season. What are a couple big takes that fans should really think about from Victor? Not the last couple of years, but Victor when he was Victor.
I will take the last couple of years, because Victor could have been the guy that could have helped pass the torch to these younger guys. And if you walk into that clubhouse sometimes, it's very much Victor and the people around him. And I think that's been disappointing to watch a career that was so solid as a guy that was such a big part of so many great baseball memories for people here in Detroit. He didn't really carry on any sort of leadership role in my eyes. And now you'll hear some of these guys now say it's great to see him come to the ballpark and put the work in every day. And I don't know what goes on behind the scenes in conversations, but I think I see enough, and a lot of people see enough, that it's been a little bit disheartening to see a guy who was such a good hitter end his career the way he has, and to watch it happen. It's also what happens to the body, right? It deteriorates, it goes down, but it would have been cooler to see it end a different way.
Taking a look at the Detroit Lions, the backup quarterback situation, they got to go with Matt Castle, don't they? Is the backup?
I like Jake Rudock. I watched him succeed at Michigan. I've watched him in the preseason. I don't think they brought Matt Castle in on accident. Matt Patricia knows what Matt Castle can bring to a team. He's got a big family. He's not going to move somewhere with them on a whim. I would imagine there were conversations between Bob Quinn, between Matt Patricia and Matt Castle. Not a promise, but an assurance that you're going to be given a fair shot. And by all indications in camp, he's been given that shot. He's been the guy that they've almost turned to see in that backup role. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Matt Castle on his roster to start the season.
Some of the whispers right now on the Lions, who that some of their draft picks, they're on the spot right now, the ones that are under Bob Quinn's tenure. I mean, is that a fair assessment from guys that were drafted a couple years ago? Because they have not looked good in camp.
Yeah, I mean, A'Shawn Robinson is a guy that's been a little bit befuddling. Miles Killebrew, a guy who's now changing positions. You can't hit with every draft pick. Bob Quinn has hit on a few, but you'd like to see him be a guy that could develop those low-round draft picks like they do so well in New England. And I think everyone looks at that New England blueprint. People have come from New England and the hierarchy there and not succeeded. I'd like to see Quinn maybe change that tide and change that. We'll see if it happens. I think I'm about to get.
You got to go.
All right.
You know what? See ya.
See ya.
That's one way to have somebody leave you, but actually being introduced out there onto the field is Brad Galli. And so we're going to take it back to the studio. We're having a blast. Hopefully you are as well.
Unbeatable price, service, selection, and customer satisfaction?
That's the Galling difference. Only at Galling Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.
Your Ram store. During the spring sales event, lease a 2018 Ram 1500 Bighorn Quad Cab 4x4 starting at $199 a month employee, $259 friends and family. Or during the Ram Truck Month, lease a 2018 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab 4x4, just $239 employee, $289 friends and family. Get to Galling Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram on Telegraph, north of Square Lake, just west of I-75 at exit 75.
I've been active for as long as I can remember. Staying healthy is everything, not just for me, but for my whole family. Kelly and I run, do yoga to find some balance, and work to eat right. From the moment our twins were born at St. Joe's, we've been focused on keeping them safe and healthy. And as a dad, I'm going to do everything I can to be a positive role model. The journey to better health starts with one step. I'm Detroit Lions quarterback Matthew Stafford. Join me.
It's time to learn more. Visit stjoeshealth.org.
For everyone at Detroit Sports Media, we'd like to thank you for tuning in. www.detroitsportsmedia.com. Once again, this is Roy J. Akers in Detroit Sports Media Monthly.